Hey everyone, it's Luke here from LT Gaming and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing a truly epic list and I'm looking at the top 25 mech games to play in 2024. I think this is the biggest list I've ever attempted on the channel, although Tom did do a top 30 with free games, which is a pretty cool list. But regardless, we're about to embark on an odyssey of mech madness, and it's a genre I really enjoy, so I'm super excited to jump in. We used to do quite a lot of MechWarrior 5 content on the channel, and it was a huge amount of fun, especially when me and Tom played co-op. I really enjoyed even making those videos, and although MechWarrior 5 has its problems, it still remains a really fun and bombastic action game. I've also been a big fan of Battletech and MechWarrior books for quite some time. They really are great, and if you are interested in that world, make sure to check those out. Despite this list being 25 games, there were some I cut from it, so I would like to hear your suggestions or any others that you might include. I'm trying not to go too far back in time to the classic titles. I wanted games that were more relevant graphically to 2024. So being an absolutely epic list, I'll try not to dwell on the games too long and keep things moving along, as I know when I watch these type of videos, I want to see what the next game on the list is, rather than have too much detail. So I'm going to try and keep it nice and concise. Let's jump in and have some fun with massive robots and a load of destruction. And kicking off this massive list today is Titanfall 2. Respawn Entertainment introduces cutting-edge Titan technology in its latest single-player campaign and multiplayer experience. Master the battlefield with advanced Titans and pilots, lethal new weapons and comprehensive customization and progression systems, enabling you as the player and your Titan to become an unbeatable force. This exhilarating first-person shooter is a lot of fun, and as the description stated, you're able to enjoy it in both single-player and multiplayer modes. Being an older title, you can also pick this one up for a little bit cheaper, but graphically it still impresses today and is rated overwhelmingly positive on Steam with a 95% rating. What could go wrong? Well, I guess it's published by Electronic Arts, if that's a problem for you. Next up, we have Mech Engineer, brought to us by Microprose Software. This is a mech lover's dream come true, where you oversee every aspect of your squad's operation, from optimizing the reactors to fine-tuning weapon systems. Carefully tweak and balance each mech's weight, energy and heat systems to maximize efficiency as you destroy your enemies in combat. Now graphically, this title is one of the more simple on the list, but it does have an engaging gameplay loop, and despite recent mixed reviews, overall it's rated mostly positive on Steam with a 74% rating, and you can play this on your Steam Deck. And we move ever onwards to Iron Harvest, a classic real-time strategy game with epic single-player campaign, multiplayer and co-op, set in an alternate reality of the 1920s. If you're looking to control your mechs on a vast scale and engage in an overarching story spanning more than 20 missions over 3 campaigns, then Iron Harvest is definitely the choice for you. The game has seen a recent drop in reviews down to mixed, but overall is still rated mostly positive at 74%, and at this stage you can pick it up for very cheap. Strike Suit Zero. In the year 2299, that's a hard one to say, take control of Strike Suit, a revolutionary fighter craft that transforms into lethal space armor to save Earth from destruction in massive fleet battles. Your dogfighting skills will determine the fate of the cosmos in a vibrant universe with an epic story. You can engage intelligent enemy fighters, target weak points on colossal capital ships, and customize your mech and weapon loadouts. Experience unparalleled dogfighting action with 4 unique craft, including the Strike Suit, to ensure Earth's survival and future. And although this is more of a space combat game, it utilizes the Strike Suit, which resembles the mech as we know it. The game is rated 79% mostly positive on Steam and is playable on the Steam Deck. Next up, we have the Iron Brigade, where you get to join the Mobile Trench Brigade to defend humanity from the Monovision menace in this tower defense shooter by Double Fine Productions. You can combine mobile firepower and stationary defenses, customizing your trench with thousands of loadouts as you battle through Europe, Africa and the Pacific. And while this game is a little older, coming from 2012, it does bring the action in spades and is rated very positive on Steam with an 84% rating, perhaps one to pick up if you missed out on it the first time around. Mecha Knight's Nightmare. This is an action shooter plunging the player into an apocalyptic war where you get to engage in epic battles with endless hordes of monsters in your powerful customizable mechs. This is more of an indie title that brings a single player campaign and deep mech customization. And while it might not look as good as some of the other titles on the list, it definitely brings the action and is rated very positive on Steam with a 91% rating. Next up, we have Templar Battle Force, where you get to experience an addictive blend of strategic combat and army building with RPG precision. Customize your squad members' equipment and talents to form unique fireteam combinations, and then step into the pilot suit of a Leviathan mech and lead the Templar Knights in intense, turn-based tactical warfare, a style of game that's very popular on this channel. This is one of the more simply presented games, having a top-down 2D style, but don't let that confuse you, the gameplay is definitely great here, and overall it's rated very positive with a 93% rating, and is brought to you by the Trezzy brothers, who make some really great games. Also, it's playable on Steam Deck. Next up, we have a virtual reality title. Get ready for epic battles in Vox Machinae. Strap into the cockpit of a giant robot towering 7 times taller than a T-Rex and experience the ultimate combat action simulator. Play in virtual reality or on standard screens for an immersive, giant robot showdown like never before. The power of virtual reality to immerse us in games like this is absolutely epic, and overall this is a really fun title and I enjoyed my time with it. It's also rated by my peers on Steam as very positive, 89%, and you can even play it on the Steam Deck where it's fully verified. Smashing its way onto the list next is Brigador Up Armored Edition. Pilot a powerful mech to dismantle the oppressive regime of a cyberpunk autocracy in this high-octane top-down shooter. Unleash devastating firepower to obliterate columns of tanks and demolish buildings. Unlock and command up to 56 unique vehicles and wield 40 different weapons. You're not going to get bored with this absolutely smashing top-down mech game. This was a title that I played on the channel some time ago, so check out that video, and it's rated very positive on Steam with a 94% rating, and for those Steam Deck players, it's also rated playable. Coming onto the list next is Supreme Commander 2, and while this title is an absolute classic, it still allows players to experience brutal battles on a massive scale. You can wage war by creating enormous customizable armies and experimental war machines that can change the balance of power at any given moment in this real-time strategy game. The first title of this series me and Tom played a lot when we were kids, and Supreme Commander 2 definitely upgrades the experience and is really fun. If you have never played this game, you don't have an excuse not to go away and try it out after this video. It's pretty cheap these days, and you definitely have to experience the glorious and vast mech goodness of this title. Iron Rebellion, a virtual reality title, comes onto the list next. This is exclusive to VR, and you're able to pilot a 40-ton mech and plunge into battle with precise, fully interactive physics-based joysticks and cockpit controls. Coordinate with up to 4 friends as you dominate across the solar system, delivering devastating blows with unparalleled immersion. And yes, virtual reality does help with that aspect. The game was released into early access in November 2021, but has received a number of updates and is rated very positive on Steam with an overall 81% rating. Let's take a dive into Super Robot Wars, the ultimate tactical RPG where your favourite mecha anime characters and robots unite to face their common enemies. Follow an epic adventure as you command giant robots on a dynamic battle map, strategizing to defeat your foes. In this game, you get ready for intense battles and thrilling stories in a one-of-a-kind crossover experience. And if you like your robots and mecha in a Japanese style, then this is definitely one that should grab your attention. It's rated very positive on Steam with an 87% rating, is brought to us by Bandai Namco, and is also fully verified on the Steam Deck. Exploding onto the list is Mechabellum, a strategic wargame where victory hinges on adapting and outthinking your opponents. Command a mechanized army in battles against human or AI foes, customize your units, and strategically deploy them on the battlefield to witness their devastating power against enemy forces. This title is a fairly recent addition to the mech world, coming out in 2023 and being published by Paradox Arc. It's an early access title but has been supported well and has a number of recent updates on Steam available. You're looking at an overall very positive review of 82% and is also playable on the Steam Deck. Next up on the list we have a slightly older title in Vanquish. This is a groundbreaking sci-fi action shooter which rockets onto PC with intense battles against legions of future tech enemies. You can wield a vast arsenal of weapons including all the DLC with a fully unlocked frame rate and stunning HD resolutions up to 4K. This is the ultimate way to play. War has accelerated. Definitely a great tagline for Vanquish and a very fun game if you're into action and fast moving titles. And this is exactly what the game brings you: fast, fluid and frenetic combat with so many melee moves, deadly firepower and the ability to take down legions of enemies. This one is rated 89% very positive and is fully verified for the Steam Deck. Right, LT gamers, if you're enjoying this list or you're new here, make sure to like, comment your recommendations and what you think of the games on the list, and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to support LT Gaming, do hit the join button below, or you can always come and have some fun in our Discord. We appreciate all the interaction that we get. And we move onwards to Front Mission First Remake, which is a tactical turn-based RPG where you command powerful Wanzers. Wanzers? Sounds like something I might call Tom when he's getting on my nerves, but look, we'll go with it. Essentially, you will navigate treacherous battlefields as a valiant pilot. You can experience the true realities of war with every strategic move in a meticulously crafted narrative. Enjoy extensive combat systems with refreshed graphics and a reorchestrated soundtrack. This game seeks to elevate the original Front Mission, and it must be doing well because it's rated very positive on Steam with an 80% rating and is also fully verified on the Steam Deck. Definitely a fun title if you're into tactical turn-based RPGs, which on this channel we really are. Next up, you can experience Zone of the Enders: The Second Runner. This one is fully remastered from the original release, and you're able to relive the classic fast-paced 3D robot action game in virtual reality with native 4K resolution support and immersive full surround sound. Take control of Jehuti's cockpit and soar through the skies of Mars like never before. You're a bit of a Jehuti's cockpit, another great insult we can take from this video. Now, I have to be honest here, this is one title on the list that I haven't actually played myself, although I always try and pick up any titles and experience them before I produce a list. But when I did my research, it did stand out as a strong title, and I think it deserves to be included. It's also rated mostly positive, 72% on Steam, but is not supported on the Steam Deck in this instance. Next up, we have Metal Wolf Chaos XD, which is a modernised re-release of From Software's 2004 mech shooter, featuring upgraded visuals, refined controls, enhanced gameplay, a new save system, and 4K support for modern displays. All of these upgrades are greatly welcome on what is a very strong title. Despite the age of this one, the remaster really does improve it, and overall it's rated very positive on Steam with 83%, and once again another title which is fully verified on the Steam Deck. Definitely one to check out. We have another recent title coming onto the list in Lightyear Frontier. Embark on a serene open-world farming adventure set on a distant planet at the galaxy's edge. Pilot a versatile mech and establish your new home with friends. You can play this with up to 3 other players, and cultivate alien crops, construct your homestead, and explore the wild, untamed wilderness of this alien world. And the appeal of this game to some people might be the fact that it's a mech game, but you don't have to kill anybody or destroy anything. You are basically there to terraform and colonize your new planet. The game has a very cute feel and a certain charm about it, and I really noticed this when I picked up the title when it came to Game Pass. On Steam it's rated very positive at 87%, so definitely one for you to pick up and enjoy. You can also play this on your Steam Deck. We move into the multiplayer realm with MechWarrior Online Legends, which is an online tactical shooter centered on mech combat within the expansive Battletech universe, a universe that I'm a huge fan of, so I enjoyed my time with this one. You're able to step into the role of an elite mech warrior commanding formidable battle mechs in a relentless battle for dominance across the inner sphere. And although this is an older title, you're still able to play quick play, faction play, private matches, and even events with custom modes also available. It truly is a very fun online experience. It's backed by an overall 80% rating, and look, it's MechWarrior, I just really enjoy this stuff. I love customizing the mechs in this one, and you can also play it on Steam Deck if you fancy it. Storming onto the list next is Phantom Brigade, which combines turn-based and real-time tactical RPG elements with an innovative timeline-based command system. You're able to anticipate enemy actions, strategize your counterattacks, and lead the brigade's campaign to reclaim the devastated homeland despite overwhelming odds. Sounds like a great premise to me. The star of this show is the tactical turn-based combat and the fights between the mechs. It really is spectacular, but is slightly let down by a mediocre strategy layer. However, it is rated 77% mostly positive on Steam, and is playable on the Steam Deck, so one to really enjoy while you're laying in bed at night. And we move on to one of my favourite games on this list, is MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries. In the year 3015, wage war across battlefields, dominated by formidable battle mechs. Command these colossal war machines to level entire cities and annihilate your enemies while pursuing a quest for both glory and revenge. Manage and expand your mercenary company, forging alliances and battling alongside friends in intense 4-player PvE co-op missions. This game is also highly enjoyable in single player, and me and Tom played a huge amount of co-op when a lot of the DLCs came out, and overall it's such a strong and fun experience. And I know this game has its detractors, but honestly, if I fancy just jumping into a game and destroying whole cities with massive mechs, this is my go-to. They've added a lot to this game over the years, and quite frankly they needed to, but that's led to an overall very positive rating on Steam with 84%. It's also playable on the Steam Deck, which is something I actually haven't tried yet, but I kinda plan to now. Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon combines From Software's renowned expertise in mech games with their signature action gameplay, and introduces a fresh action experience to the series. You can engage in dynamic, omnidirectional battles, piloting your mech through fast-paced combat, and you can also utilise expansive stages and your mech's mobility on land and in the air to secure victory. This was a title that Tom played and reviewed on the channel, and he commented a lot on the amazing omnidirectional gameplay and the fast-paced action. If you have fast reflexes, this might be the game for you. However, if you prefer a slightly slower experience, you might want to check out some of the turn-based tactical mech games on the list. However, this one is backed up with a very positive 90% rating and is playable on the Steam Deck, so you've no excuse not to go out and check it out today. Into the Breach storms onto the list, and here you get to take command of advanced future mechs to combat an alien menace. Every mission to safeguard the world presents a new, randomly generated challenge in this turn-based strategy game. At this stage, this title really is an all-time classic, and has even received major free updates with new mechs and weapons, new challenges, pilot abilities, and even a challenging unfair mode. If you want a game that will make you think and provide you with plenty of challenge as you drive your mech army through various tactical turn-based challenges, then Into the Breach is definitely the title to pick up, and is rated very positive on Steam with a 94% rating and fully verified on Steam Deck. One of the best games on this list. And we come to the Riftbreaker, which blends base building and survival with action RPG elements. As an elite scientist slash commando, which let's be honest is a pretty rare type of person, in an advanced mecha suit capable of dimensional rift travel, slash through hordes of enemies. Construct and expand your base, gather samples and innovate new technologies to ensure your survival. This is a really fun title, and I remember playing it when it came to Game Pass, and I do know that Tom is actually reviewing this for a video on Friday with the new DLC, so do check that out as it is a very exciting prospect. It's rated very positive on Steam with a 90% rating, and you can also play this on the Steam Deck. Just a really great title overall. And finally, we reach the top of this list with Battletech, where you can command a squad of over 30 battle mechs in turn-based combat using terrain, positioning, and special abilities to outmaneuver your opponents. Manage your mercenary company by recruiting and customizing mech warriors and upgrading your dropship. Engage in a desperate civil war to restore a deposed ruler's throne with your ragtag bunch of mercenaries. Customize your mechs in the mech lab using salvage parts, and then jump in and participate in PvP multiplayer, skirmish against friends, or challenge the AI in single player mode. As someone who really enjoyed the Battletech universe and the novels, this game was a dream come true, and I really enjoyed my time with it, especially the turn-based combat and the way you have to think and plan your overall attacks, and then manage, customize and upgrade your mechs. This is a game that I've planned to go back and revisit many times, and with this list it's given me the impetus to go and do that. I've picked up a couple of the DLC, and being Paradox, they really aren't that bad. It must have been before they decided to just go nuts with it all. But I've decided to jump back in and play it again this year, and as it's playable on the Steam Deck, I can't wait to give this one another try. I've around 70 hours in this title already, and it was definitely pre-channel, so it would be good to go back with my new gaming insight and give it another go again in 2024. It's a very solid title and is rated very positive on Steam with an overall 83% rating. So there we go, LT Gamers, we made it all the way through 25 mech-based games, and didn't we find some absolutely amazing titles and even games that I want to revisit this year. I did cut a few games from the list, and I may have even missed a few deep gems, so make sure to stick those in the comments below. It's always good to hear from our viewers. And as stated, Tom has a review of the Riftbreaker and its new DLC coming on Friday, so do get behind that video. I know he's put a lot of effort into it. This list was a lot of work, but I have to say it was also a lot of fun. I've been Luke from LT Gaming, and I'll catch you on the next one.